Well, here it is, an October morning, and Wayne and John and I are down on the bedrock again. You can see Wayne way down the bedrock there, scratching in a crack. I'm going to circle right on up here. We are on some nice bedrock, and here is John attempting to pry a very big piece of bedrock out. You're going to need a hand with that, right? Okay, I'll help you pull that in a second. Alright, and I'm going to give you a quick shot of what I'm doing here. Okay, now John is in the main course of the stream here, and we are completely dry, of course. But I have come up to a section of bedrock that's coming off the hillside right here. See all this bedrock, alright? And I'm about 8 or 10 feet above the normal water course right now on the hillside. And I found this nice chunk of bedrock, which is nice and flat and runs right along into this point right here. Now I found this big hunk of bedrock there. Difficult to get any size relationship unless I include the 3-gallon bucket in there. And that actually moved. I managed to pry this one up just enough to stick a big rock down in under there, and that opened up this whole area underneath that slab of bedrock. Alright, I started digging down and found this nice little kickback right here under the bedrock. Now this is the downstream side, so any gold sliding across all this smooth bedrock is going to come down to this edge and drop right into that hole. At least that's what I'm hoping. So thus far I've got about 2 or 3 inches of material here in the bottom of the 3-gallon bucket, and I'm going to go ahead and keep working down into this hole, and hopefully it will give me some material that is going to have some nice gold in it. Alright, I'm going to go help John move that big rock, and I'll be back a little later. Alright, well, Wayne and John and I have been moving this big rock. We managed to get it flipped up, and there is some beautiful material right down underneath there.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, gorgeous. That's all powdered clay right now because everything's so dry. But all that clay is
there we go.
Definitely. Oh, okay, you popped it. Watch your foot, John.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We should be able to get right in there, and all 3 of us make a lift on that and just flip it right over. Okay, Wayne's scooting it down. Okay. Alright. There's, look at that slot behind there and everything. Oh, that's going to be beautiful material. All that stuff. Yeah. That is going to be sweet stuff. Yeah. Clean every one of those rocks off. John, you should have some beautiful gold here. Yes, indeedy. Outstanding.
Get that mother cleaned out.
That's it. Okay, so I'm not even going to ask you to help me flip my rock, because my rock's twice as big as that one. Alright, I'm just digging under my rock, and that'll be enough material for today. If it shows up good material, then we'll come back with a big bar and move my rock. Alright. Boy, look at all this material. Get down in here, guys. Okay. Now what we're talking about, this material right here is clay that is dried out. But that will hold gold right there, because it's just a real thin layer of clay. And this little area right there, boy, that's going to be sweet. Alright, John, I could believe that if we did like this for a second, We might even see a piece of gold. Wouldn't that be nice? Get down there. Well, of course, I don't see one, but that doesn't mean they're not there. That's good stuff, though. Well, we'll come back over here to my hole, and I managed to get that one nice big flat rock out of there. And so now you can see I'm right down to bedrock. That's where that white scratching is. Alright? And I found nice clay layered in there. This area right back in here is still producing good clay. And that clay is what is going to hold that gold right in there. Look at all that. And you can see the difference in the color of the material. At least I hope you can. You can see the gray clay right there. Right? And then over here, this is just your basic overburden right on top there. Well, it looks like John and I are going to be investing our entire days into one hole. Right? Now this is either a really good thing or a really bad thing, right? If there's no gold in the hole, we're putting an entire day's work into scratching, and we are not totally certain since there's no water, so we can pan out and run a sample. So it's either going to be good or it's going to be bad, right, John?
Nonetheless, it's a beautiful day on the bedrock.
It is a gorgeous day. Man, it's like 74 degrees or something down here, and we're in the shade. Man, it is beautiful. I'm going to kind of pan up the creek here. See a whole lot of brush and goodies. And here's the edge of the creek. And we're running on down here along all this nice bedrock. You can see how nice and flat this bedrock is. I get here right below where I'm working. And there's a few cracks. I did find one hole that someone had cleaned out, and this is a bedrock boil hole. And right down at the bottom of it, there's a little bit of material. I'm going to go ahead and put some water in there and snuffer that out, because if you clean out a boil hole, you want to make sure you get it completely clean, because all that gold is always right down at the very bottom of those things. Alright, getting back to my hole. There we go. I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm down to the point where I'm going to go ahead and use my brush to clean off the bedrock itself. You can see there's still a lot of material, or not a lot, but there's still material in the little cracks and crevices in the bedrock here. And then right on down to the bedrock that I dug down to. Now this is a point where I come down and I'll use the brush and just clean that stuff off to a point where you could just about eat from it. And I'm just brushing all this stuff down into the bottom of the hole. You have to remember that it only takes a 1/4 inch of drop for gold to sit down at any given point. As a result, if you don't get that last 1/4 inch of material, you're missing out on gold. Alright, get this cleaned up completely, and then I'll start working on the bedrock itself. You can see what that is doing there. And sometimes when I'm using the brush, I will actually uncover a crack that has just been hidden completely by anything but the utilization of a brush on the bedrock itself. Now we can see a little crack forming here, but I happen to have already found this crack. As you can see, I cleaned out this area right down in here, and there's some more material, some clay and goodies, and believe it or not, a bunch of mica, because I'm getting little reflective flecks as I clean this crack out. And the idea is there's no sense in digging and not completely cleaning up. It's like, you know, if you leave the job undone, somebody else is going to come along behind you and scoop up the gold that you spent all this time working to get. So definitely clean your bedrock off. And now to finally finish cleaning up the hole, the last thing I do is take my sucker bulb and put some water in the holes, squirt it around, make sure I've cleaned off all the rock as much as I possibly can, and we end up with extremely clean bedrock. Well, we're back at the house and just lined up doing our classification. We just bring material back that is unclassified and go ahead and classify it to 1/4 inch here, wet classify, and then we will be running it through the triple little buddy recirculator, which we have set up right there. Alright, I think we've elected John to go first because his hole looked so good. We're hoping John is the big dog. Wait a minute, John, you were big dog last time. I think you were. Yep, you were the big dog last time, so okay, you don't get to be big dog this time.
That's fine.
That's just the way it works.
We'll share it.
We'll see what Wayne sneaks up with out of that big rock that he moved.
I don't feel good about any of this stuff.
You never feel good about any of this stuff. All right. Well, John is down to the bottom of his pan for the -20s. I can see gold showing up. I'd go.
Trying to come out there too.
Yeah, I'd shake that down.
Okay. Get rid of this little bit of
And
black there.
there we go. Swirl out now. This is going to be a nice can. Get it in the sunshine. In the sunshine. In the sunshine. There we go. There we go. All right. I can see the gold showing up in John's fan. Bring it up.
Too much.
Got a little excited.
I goofed up again. Yep.
All right. There's John's gold.
Is that a camera?
That's my little camera. And we come in and start looking at John's gold. I wish I could see here, because that would be a lot nicer. Put it down on the... Alright. That's okay. We can see the gold. Nice gold, John. Looking good. Alright. Excellent. There's John's gold. -20s. It is running.
And let me come around you here for the sunlight, Rick.
There we go.
The way we were.
Alright, this is Rick's -20s. And look at that big nice chunk of gold right up there. Showing. Oh, you're too close. Back up, back up. There we go. There we go. There we are. Not a lot of gold, but what's there? There's a nice one big flake.
There we go. Look at it walking out there.
Okay, we walk it out here. Run this stuff on down.
Little bits.
Yep. That is it. A little bit of gold. Okay.
That is nice.
There we go. Alright. Okay, so that's Rick's -20 from one bucket, and I'll get the other bucket in just a
Let's
second.
look at the +20.
Okay, well there's Wayne's gold. And a nice pan of gold for Wayne. Darn, buddy, that's downright decent.
Better than a poke in the eye.
That's it. Let me get the old magnifying glass on here and see if we can get down and get a little better view of this stuff. There we go. Oh boy, sweet gold, buddy. All right, excellent.
I didn't get skunked.
No skunking going on.
Yeah? It's almost across.
Alright, Wayne is doing his plus 20s, and sure enough,
There
look at
they
those
are.
little puppies. Two very nice plus 20s. Let me get a shot with the magnifier.
Right on.
And see what we can see in there. Trying to come up here so the shadow doesn't get me.
Well, I feel better about that bucket now.
Yeah, tell me about it. Man,
I
sitting there with
wasn't-
two plus 20s.
I wasn't
Excellent.
feeling very good about it there for a while.
Every time we go, he says, I don't feel good about this, and then he ends up with plus 20s.